I may get to one of these days. And my father, retired Air Force, he died a couple months ago. Rest in peace. I was born in Texas, and we went to Spain, California, Japan, Florida, back to Texas, California. No, Texas, Florida to Texas. Then my dad retired, and then we went to California and Oregon. And then I joined the Air Force from Gold Hill, Oregon, which is where we live, on Rock Creek Road. I remember that place. I learned a lot from those animals I raised. Anyway, I've been in the Cub Scouts, the Webelos, Boy Scouts, Army ROTC, and the Navy Sea Cadets. I was in boxing until I broke my thumb. You know, it's kind of crooked. Or one of them. I think this one I broke. I was 14 or 15 years old. I enjoy building and making things. Usually when I get into making something, I'm partially a perfectionist. I do it, I like to do it right. It may take me a while to do it, but I'm a real big procrastinator. I think that's what you call it. Who dawdles around and doesn't do what he needs to do. But anyway, I enjoy building and making things. I enjoy shooting my weapons when I get the chance to have some Bruce time, which I don't get a whole lot of time outside the house anymore. I love taking care of my wife. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I don't get a lot of outside the house time. Let's see. I enjoy. Okay. I am a procrastinator, and I know I need to follow through on things, which is very true. A lot of things I get into, I don't follow through, or I lose interest, or I don't have the funds to continue it for a little while, so I get out of it and don't ever get back into it. But when I decide to do or build something, I tend to go overboard if I can afford it, which is true. Most of the time when I'm thinking about something, I do some kind of research on it. I don't hardly ever just go out and buy something just because. Like this camera, I had a GoPro, and it suited a few of the needs, but I did some research and I found out that a lot of the people making YouTube videos use the Canon the T6i, and so I bought the kit. I bought the camera, I bought a couple lenses, microphone, a few things. Most of the time, okay, yeah, the reason. Also, during the research of getting into wind chimes and paracording and making bullets, I found a few things that I tried to research that there are no videos on. So that's why I'm getting into YouTube. If I can't find a video on a certain subject, then if I really need it, or if I can do it, I'm going to make a video on that subject. Like, for instance, the Lathe tool sharpening jig. Doug Reed did a good job of explaining how to use the jig and to sharpen all your lathe tools. But when I got my my jig, it was all in pieces. I had to figure out how to put it together. That's what I'm going to make the video on. There's nobody else. I couldn't find a video on how to put together the sharpening jig for the shopsmith. And there's things like that that I'm going to make the videos on. If there's 100 videos out there on it, now let me go back. Making wind chimes. I have watched 100 videos on how people make wind chimes, and some of them, I hate to say this, some of them are wrong. You know, some of them say, you know, just come down an inch and drill your holes on all the tubes. If you want the resonation to last long, then you've got to do like Lathe says and come down at 22.4% of the total length of the tube, and that's where you drill your hole. And that thing will resonate from here. It'll resonate over 30 seconds on most metals. It does really good on aluminum, and I'll make a video on that and to show you why you don't want to hang it from the top, and why you want to come down to 22.4% of the total length and all that. I think Lathe tells, you know, you've got to do that, but I'm not sure that he explains why. I'm going to try to do that. Another thing, I'd like to think myself as a patriot. You can tell by this flag behind me. It's a blanket. It's not a flag. It's a blanket. And as a veteran, you know, I don't know if all veterans feel this way, but I would do whatever needs done to defend my country and others if I can. I'm not one of those guys that's got 100,000 weapons that's going to blow the world up, or, you know, not let anybody have a dinner or anything. If shit ever hits the fan, then anybody that can help, I'm not saying anybody that can't help is not welcome, but anybody that can help either defend or grow a garden or, you know, just help somehow is welcome. And I will help protect them. You know, I've got a few months worth of food saved up, and dry goods and MREs, and I've got some dried milk, saved up some powdered milk. I ordered a case of 1 ounce packets or something like that a while back. And I'd like to think that, you know, I call myself a prepper, I guess. I mean, I'm not one of those full-blown live off the grid, you know, dig a hole and bury yourself preppers. I want to be smart about it. I want to be able to defend myself by any means necessary with any weapon I choose. I've got a couple go bags. I've got a medical bag. You know, I've got places I can go if shit ever hit the fan. And I hope it never does, but hold on. I'm coming.